Bam Adebayo, Domantas Sabonis, Karl Anthony Towns, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic, and Draymond Green. These are some of the best passing and playmaking power forwards and centers in the NBA. And today I'm going to explain why that is a valuable thing that teams should be looking for more. Hey guys, welcome to another video. I know I started that off kind of strange, but thought it'd be cool. Maybe there'll be some pictures of the players flashing on the screen. Who knows if I care enough to edit this. So I went through the whole leagues. I'm sure there was some website that had this obscure stat that I could just looked at, but I decided to do it myself. I went through every team's projected starting power forward and center, took their assist average from last year, and then made a league average. So the league power forward for assists. The league power forward average for assists is 2.6 assists. The league's center average for assists is 2.3. So power forwards are averaging about 0.3 more assists, on average, hypothetically, than a center, and that could be due to maybe since more centers are learning how to shoot, they might have their center on the wing and then their power forward banging in the post, and then when they get double teamed, they pass it out to the center who shoots a three and makes it. I don't know. But the total league average, if you put the averages of the power forwards and centers, just the whole league average for starting centers and power forwards is 2.4 assists per game. So if you take these numbers and you put them on a point guard who is a starter, is that point guard is probably being benched unless they're putting up like 30 points per game, or they're being moved to shooting guard. So, and I know you're going to say, well, it's not a big man's primary job to pass the ball. But it could be, and it could be something that generates a lot of points and less, points for the other team. I'll explain that. So the first thing I want to talk about is passing is an important thing in double team situations. So, and if you guys watch Purdue basketball, I do. Trevon Williams. Here's some of his highlights on the screen. I better show them.
He seems content to be Magic Johnson. No look over the head. And Mason Gillis is a recipient.
Picking up the foul. Let's go back to these assists. This is a Big Ten standout presented by Auto Owners Insurance.
Nice job by Newman cutting hard. And then Wheeler taking advantage of Suing. Suing's supposed to drop down and seal off the backside. That did not happen.
He's throwing no-look passes to the back of him, and then they're just getting a wide-open layup because somebody's open because he's getting double-teamed. Or Sasa Stefanovic, or just anybody, is out on the perimeter wide open because, again, he's getting double-teamed, and he can just pass it out to him, shoots a quick three, and there you go. That's 3 points on the board. If you're double-teamed, somebody's open. And that person can, go in the post. And if your center can pass it and has enough court vision, that's an easy 2 or 3 points. And if you do that a lot over the course of the game, especially near the end where the defense is getting more anxious and they're trying to get a stop, and if you do that enough times, like at the end of a close game, you will have a comfortable lead and most likely win. So, just in double team situations, it can be a very valuable thing to have. Spacing. So, we know teams have kind of gone away from having two power forwards and centers who can't shoot the three-pointer or just don't have a jump shot at all. Because you have two of those guys in the post, your spacing is going to be horrendous. I mean, it can work, but it doesn't work well for spacing. That's probably one of the reasons why the 76ers aren't doing as good as they would look on paper, is because they don't have many three-point shooters, so their spacing was just terrible. But when you have kind of like what the Pacers have, or you have Domantas Sabonis who can bang in the post, and then Miles Turner who can hit 3-pointers. Because Sabonis can pass the ball. Sabonis, he'll get double teamed, or it's just a normal play. They'll set a pick. Sabonis bangs in the post. Miles Turner kind of gets open, passes it out to Miles Turner, and shoots it. Or if somebody's on the perimeter, if your power forward or center is on the perimeter, they could throw a bounce pass to whoever's in the post, and if they're one-on-one, and there might be a mismatch because there might have been a pick and roll at some point, that's an easy 2 points. So another thing is less turnovers. So sometimes people might forget not only the reason somebody would average less assists, like the only reason they would average not so many assists isn't just because they don't pass the ball. It can also be because they pass the ball, but the ball doesn't get to the person they're passing it to, and a defender gets it, and that's a turnover. They're on a fast break, and they just scored. So if your big man knows how to pass, and he can get the ball to a player efficiently, quickly, without turning it over, that can take your total turnovers per game down by a good amount. Because I know this is going to sound really obvious, but the most turnovers happen when you're moving the ball. So logically, it makes sense because your center or power forward could be moving the ball a lot. If they get double teamed, or if they're on the perimeter and they picked up their dribble and they don't have a good shot, if they can pass it out to somebody and get them a good shot without turning it over, that's points. So, and it keeps the other team from having points. So it's kind of a good form of defense, I guess you could say. Technically it would be a good form of defense because you're preventing the other team from scoring points. So yeah. More second chance points. You might be wondering, second chance points, that's usually from guys grabbing a rebound and putting it back in. Well, yes, but imagine you're in this scenario. Malcolm Brogdon, Victor Oladipo, somebody shot a 3. It misses. Domantas Sabonis grabs a rebound because he managed to box out these guys in the post. But then he has 2 guys on him in the post because there were multiple guys in the area trying to get the rebound, and he's double teamed. He can pass out of that situation. And if he can pass out of that situation without turning it over, good. But, if he can't pass very good, it could also get turned over when he's trying to pass it. But it generates that second chance point because somebody's open. If you get it to that person, they're wide open, and they make that shot. That's second chance points. So, also something you'll notice, all of these guys who can pass also can rebound. Bam Adebayo, he averages 5.1 assists, which, again, you're not going to see any. I think the highest assist average we have is 7, which is actually pretty good even if you're a point guard. But, for a center, 5 assists per game. For a center or power forward, 5 assists per game is pretty good. So, Bam Adebayo, 5.1 assists per game. Also, 10.2 rebounds a game. Domantas Sabonis, 5 assists per game. Also, 12.4 rebounds a game. Karl Anthony Towns, 4.4 assists per game. Also, 10.8 rebounds per game. Giannis, 5.6 assists, 13.6 rebounds. Nikola Jokic, 7 assists, 9.7 rebounds. Draymond Green, 6.2 assists, 6.2 rebounds. Which I know that 6.2 rebounds might not sound very good, but also keep in mind, Draymond Green is much shorter than a lot of the other power forwards and centers in the league. So the fact that he can even get 6 rebounds a game while other guys have, 4, 5, 6 inches in height on him, that's pretty good. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 out of these 6 guys are averaging 10 or more rebounds per game, along with being good at passing. So they're just playing very good fundamental basketball, because they grab the rebound, they pass it out to somebody, they score. I'm not saying that's how most of these are made. I'm just saying, hypothetically, it would make sense that that is how most of these, assists are made. So, and also something you'll notice is 4 out of 6 of these guys were on the All-Star team in 2020. And all of these guys have made an All-Star team at least once in their career. Draymond, Karl Anthony Towns didn't make it this year, but he made it last year. Draymond, he hasn't made it for the past few years, but he's also averaging, the lowest rebounds. He's averaging, I think the second highest assists out of all these guys, but he's also the guy who put up, I believe, didn't he put up a triple-double without scoring any points? So he's still a pretty good basketball player. It's just he kind of got overrated along with those Warriors players in 2015, 2016, and he kind of fell off because everyone got tired of them. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, and all of these guys together, just this year, these are all of their awards combined into one. This is just this year. This does not count any of their previous years. 1 MVP, 1 Defensive Player of the Year, 4 All-Stars, 1-time All-NBA First Team, 1-time All-NBA Second Time, 1-time All-NBA Second Team, 1-time All First Team All-Defense, and 1-time Second Team All-Defense. Those are some pretty good accolades. So if you're not convinced that a big man who can pass the ball is good for your team yet, I don't know what I'm supposed to tell you at this point, because that's pretty compelling evidence, in my opinion. I mean, Giannis Antetokounmpo is on that list, and he's the top 5 player in the NBA right now. I mean, Bam Adebayo, Domantas Sabonis, those are some of the best young big men in the league. Nikola Jokic, top 15 player, maybe even top 10. Karl Anthony Towns, that's probably more like a top 20 player, but he's 1 year removed from an All-Star appearance. And he's still pretty young. He's 25. So he hasn't even hit his prime yet. Most guys hit their prime around 26. So he still has a lot of time left. I think the oldest guy on there is Draymond Green. That most of these guys are young, fun players. Some of them are are the best at what they do. Passing is a very underrated skill in the game of basketball, because people want to focus on the flashy things, the dunks, the three-pointers, the blocks, the steals, but they don't want to focus on the gritty things, like second chance points, rebounds, assists. It doesn't even have to be a flashy no-look pass like Trayvon Williams does every night. It can just be a fundamental chest pass, bounce pass, just something that generates points. Anything that generates points will win you basketball games. I feel like people sometimes forget that. It's like in the movie Moneyball. I know that's baseball, but back in just for hundreds of years, they had an imperfect understanding of where wins came from. They thought it was buying players who were all-stars and had, home runs, RBIs, stolen bases. Really, it's about, getting on base. You don't have to hit home runs. You don't have to get RBIs. You don't have to steal bases. Get on base. If you get on base, you can score. If everyone hits a single, gets on base, hypothetically, that will never end. If you never get out, and you just keep on hitting good hits that are singles, getting you on first base, you score a lot. It's not flashy, but you win. Just like this. It's not flashy, but you win basketball games. Because even with our advanced analytics, a passing center is way too underrated in my opinion, because it can generate so many extra points. Imagine some of the games where, like with the Pacers, Victor Oladipo gets in position to make a game-winning shot. Well, without Domantas Sabonis making a few extra assists here and there, they're down by 8 or 10, and Victor Oladipo isn't in position to make a game winner, and the Pacers lose. It generates points, and the team with the most points wins. And also, along with giving up less turnovers, that also gives the other team less points. So you're giving yourself extra points while taking away the other team's points. I mean, I know, again, it's not flashy. It's not going to show up on a highlight reel. You're not going to go, holy crap, how'd he do that? But it's going to win you games and maybe even win you a championship. See you guys next time. I know I usually make Indiana sports content, but I was just watching Trayvon Williams against Ohio State, and I just realized, like, holy crap, this dude is generating easy buckets. This could be valuable. And then I look up some stuff. I do some of my research. It is a valuable thing. So, see you guys next time. My dad.
Your boy got 180 subs. Let's go. Try to reach 200 before the end of the year is up, bro. Try to reach 200 before the end of the year is up.